Hello everyone, and welcome back to the homestead. If you're new here, my name is Jack. We are in the middle here in New Hampshire of what I like to call typically the January thaw, but we're a little bit early on it. It's still December. New Year's is tomorrow, and it's almost 60 degrees out today. Chickens and ducks behind me are taking advantage of this beautiful day. They are enjoying the warmth. They're enjoying some cucumbers that we had in the refrigerator that are a little bit past, and they're just having a good time. We, on the other hand, are dealing with a little bit of an issue on the homestead. I mentioned in the last video that we recently had Jackie's car in for some repairs. I didn't go super in depth into what was wrong. I just mentioned that it was a rodent issue. The long and the short of it is that we think rats that we have because of the chickens and the grain that we store in the garage back there. Rats got into the underhood of her car. No footprints.
No footprints? Just the tail.
Some poop. And then some fur and bedding material kind of scattered in different places. Probably when the engine was warm and the weather was cold, and that's where they went to kind of make a warm spot to stay. And they chewed through at least 18 or 19 wires under there. I forget what the final total was, but at the end of the day, it was a good chunk of the wiring harness of her car, to the tune of around $500 is what we had to spend to get this thing back on the road. And that has meant that I've launched an all-out war on rats, or I'm in the process of it. I put out a container with some fish-flavored poison in it. I don't like using poison, but drastic times call for drastic measures. We don't have, $500 to be throwing at Jackie's car to fix it every time the rats decide they want to go in and make a nest. Now, I'm saying rats right now, but I really should quantify that a little bit. I should make the note that I haven't actually seen a living rat yet. I have seen one dead rat out in the driveway that I mentioned in the last video. Found it a couple weeks ago, actually more like a month and a half ago. I didn't know where that rat came from. It was just in the driveway dead one day. I thought the potential existed that maybe a bird had a rat and it dropped it in the driveway. I know typically animals that are killed from poison, they don't necessarily just die right out in the open like a driveway. I feel like they would be somewhere else, but I'm not sure. So there are rats in the area at the very least. Obviously, we have mice. We live in New England. That's a problem every year. As you transition into winter, the mice are going to be looking for a warm place to stay. It's definitely worse this time of year. And of course, we know that there's a squirrel that has been in and out of the garage at least all summer. But one squirrel is not going to cause the damage that we saw under the hood of Jackie's car. So I've got the poison out in there. I've got snap traps that I haven't really been using aggressively yet. I want to build an actual cubby for them to go into. And that makes the snap traps a little bit more effective. But what I want to do today is modify something I've used in the past outside. It's actually one of the more popular videos on our channel. I want to modify the bucket trap that we use in the summer to catch chipmunks that are eating our strawberries. And I want to try to modify it to work in the winter to catch any rats that we might have in the garage. What I've got right here are all the makings of the standard bucket trap that we use in the summertime, but with a little twist for wintertime, because it's warm today, but it's not going to be warm for the rest of the winter. We have a piece of wood that we can use as a ramp. It's got a couple screws in it right now. I'll pull those out, and I'll actually put them on the end here so that this doesn't slide off the end of the bucket. We've got a 16-gallon heated bucket. This is the major change here. Normally we just use a 5-gallon bucket, but for winter, water's not going to work. And I know some people put antifreeze in the 5-gallon buckets for the winter. I'm not going to do that yet. I know it might work. I'm going to give it a shot, but I want to try this first because this actually will have a dual purpose. Once we catch rats, I can use it for other stuff on the farm versus a bucket of antifreeze. And then the best bait for rodents pretty much anywhere, whether you're dealing with squirrels, chipmunks, rats, black widow sunflower seeds, they love this stuff. So the basic setup here, if you've never used one of these before, is you have a bucket that you fill halfway to 3/4 of the way with water. You've got a ramp that the rodents can use to climb up to the edge of the bucket. And then you're going to take your black widow sunflower seeds and you're going to float them on the surface of the water so that any rodents that come up this ramp, they see a bunch of black widow sunflower seeds, they smell them, they jump thinking they're jumping into a bucket of seeds, and they end up in the water and they can't get out. They do drown. It does kill them. But the benefit of a trap like this over a snap trap is that you catch multiple animals in one night. You don't have the issue of once a snap trap snaps, that's it, it can't catch anymore. This will catch multiples in one night. What's up? In the snow? Squished. Jackie just yelled and saw that there's a mouse or a rat stuck in the ice down here.
By the cars.
Whoop.
Gross.
Maybe that's what the crow was going after.
But yeah, he's been here every morning. So it could be.
Ew.
Definitely rodents around. This trap is one of those skills where if you're living in the country, it's a nice kind of piece of knowledge to have up in your head. All right, I'm gonna get this bucket filled with some water. I'm gonna get it lugged back in here. We'll move those screws so that the piece of wood has a hook on it, and then we'll get it plugged in and baited up.
Got you, Daddy. I got you, Daddy.
You did
With
get
a
me.
snowball.
Got me with a snowball.
Yeah. Now why you need water?
Because we're gonna catch the rats with it.
Oh. You're making a different thing without the poison?
Yep.
I got you.
Oh, you got me again?
Told ya.
I talked about it in the other video I did on this, but I'll mention it again here. The whole point of these traps is to knock down the population quickly. In any rodent population, you're going to have your larger, more established breeding animals, and then you're going to have your youngsters and things like that. This isn't going to take out like the really, really young ones that are still hanging out in the nest and nursing off mom, but this will take out, at the very least, a whole bunch of the intermediate aged animals that are young and still not very smart, and it'll take out a number of the grown animals too, the ones that are out hunting and foraging for food. And the whole idea behind this thing and why I like it so much is that it's simple. It doesn't have any trapdoors, it doesn't have any spinning cans, it doesn't have any of a lot of the other things that people claim, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to get one of these traps. It doesn't cost much at all. I mean, the heated bucket in this case was expensive, but the rest of it was just a bag of sunflower seeds and a piece of wood that I had laying around. If it was summertime and you needed to do this, you could bang out the whole trap for under 20 bucks. Hopefully, if you have a rodent problem on your small farmer homestead, this is something just to keep in your pocket in case you need to knock down that population. This will work on rats, it'll work on chipmunks, it'll work on mice. I've seen it work on squirrels. It doesn't work as effectively on squirrels just because they can actually hang off their back feet and eat a bunch of the sunflower seeds without having to jump into the water to get them. Really, it only works on rodents that are going to be small enough where they can't hang off the side of the bucket by their back legs and eat the sunflower seeds, because then they have no reason to jump. If you build this trap and run it on your small farmer homestead, I want to hear about it. Leave it in the comments down below. If you like this video and you want to see more of what we're doing on the homestead, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.